All right, time it is. Live from the Bare Muscle Garage, it's time for Fit Crew. What do we got in store for you today? Let's go ahead and share this on screen. So for today's workout, we've got a nice 5-round descending ladder workout for you here. We're going to be doing some V-ups, some push-ups, and some kettlebell swings. And we may be looking at this thinking, hey, this seems kind of simple. But as always, guys, we're going to warm up really well. And we're going to go through all the options that will allow you to do this workout or your version of it, right where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. Let's go ahead and start this general warm-up. Here we go. Let's get some arm circles going back, arm circles back. And as you know, my name is Coach Chris. I am a level 3 CrossFit trainer, which means I've logged thousands of hours over many years, helping many people just like you live their best life through health and fitness. Let's move on to arms across the chest. Hug yourself, love yourself. One of the ways I've been privileged to help you guys live your best life is through the Habit Master Challenge. And what is the Habit Master Challenge? That's where we take an honest look at all of our habits. The 5 categories of habits that matter the most, which is water, sleep, meal planning, flexi time, and the WODs. Let's go ahead and move on to the wrist wave here. And so when we are consistent across these 5 categories, that is the beginning of what we can really call ourselves as habit masters. And that's where we'll truly see results. And really, no pill or powder can outperform the results of really paying attention to these habits in that order and really nailing these basics. Let's go ahead and move on to some high knees into chest, or we could do some high elbows, or both if that's awesome for us. And so some of you guys have been taking this challenge for a long time, taking an honest look at your consistency with all these habits, and you've been seeing some awesome results in your life. Some of you guys earn badges every single month. Some of you guys make it a challenge to earn special badges once every couple months. But either way, your consistency and your awareness and your accountability across these 5 categories is really what's needed to get the results that matter. Let's go ahead and move on to some cat phrases. Up on the toe, back on the heel, up on the toe, back on the heel. Or we could do some wrist extensions if that's better for us. And a reminder of the badges that we can earn. We've got the Consistency Crew badge, which shows that, hey, we're just tipping our toe in the water to start to be consistent in at least one of these categories, or pretty consistent across all of them. We've got the Committed Club badge, which shows that we're really starting to show some commitment and prioritize all these habits in our life. And then we've got the Habit Master badge, which shows that, yes, I plan my life around this, and my life is now enriched because of this. Let's go ahead and move on to some jumping jacks, or we can do some stepping jacks if we want low impact. So have you earned a badge yet? Do you even know where to start as far as that's concerned? Well, please click that link that's in this video, or feel free to message me directly for details. But I am looking forward to you seeing the power these badges can have in your life as you take on the Habit Master Challenge. Let's go ahead and take a break from the warm-up, guys, and we're going to move on to the activation phase, which is where we're going to do a couple different moves that are going to help us to get specifically ready for today's workout. So the first move we're going to do is glute bridges, and let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 glute bridges for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then glute bridges are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 glute bridges together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We are laying on our back. We've got the feet pulled in close to those hips. We're going to squeeze those glutes and we're going to get higher and higher each rep. And we want to think fast up, hold the top, slow on the way back down. And so good job here on these glute bridges. Next, we've got some single leg raises, and let's go ahead and have Bird Dog demonstrate 2 reps on the same leg for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the single leg raises are going to be single arm raises like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the single leg raises, 5 on each side. So a couple things to keep in mind are pointing those toes, and we're going to go all the way up, getting that leg to about 90 degrees or more if possible, and then all the way back down. And we're going to do 5 straight through on one side before switching and doing 5 on the other side. And this will activate and engage the core even more. So good job here on these single leg raises. Next, we're going to do some straight leg sit-ups. And let's go ahead and have Twin 1 demonstrate 2 straight leg sit-ups for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then those straight leg sit-ups are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 straight leg sit-ups together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We are laying on our back. We've got those arms behind us, and then we are swinging those arms for momentum until we touch those toes at the top or as close as we can to it. And then we're getting all the way back down. Now, even with swinging the arms, this could be a very challenging core movement for us, in which case we may choose to do those single leg raises like we were doing before. And let's go ahead and have Twin 1 remind us what some of those single leg raises look like. But good job here on either these straight leg sit-ups or the single leg raises. Next, we're going to do some plank shoulder taps. And let's go ahead and have Twin 1 demonstrate 2 plank shoulder taps for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the plank shoulder tap will look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 plank shoulder taps together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We're going to be in a nice tight plank position, and we're going to squeeze the gut, squeeze the butt, and we're going to shift the weight, tap the opposite shoulder. Now, this could be hard on our wrists, in which case we may choose to do this off of an incline. And let's go ahead and have Twin 1 demonstrate here. It could be off of a sofa, off a counter, or even off the wall, where we're going to have those feet back in a nice incline plank position, shifting the weight, tapping the opposite side. And so good job here on these plank shoulder taps, whether we're doing this off the ground or with however much incline we choose to use. Next, what I'd like everyone to do is let's go ahead and grab a light kettlebell if you have one. By light, I mean 10 pounds or less, 5 kilos or less. If we don't have a light kettlebell, then any other light common household object will do, preferably something with a handle today. So it could be an empty laundry detergent jug, an empty water jug, an empty purse. Or if we don't have anything with a handle, It could be a light dumbbell, a shoe, a pillow, a teddy bear. As long as it's super light. We always go light before we go heavy, if at all. So with this light object in hand, I just want to highlight something fancy that Bird Dog was doing here. Incidentally, hey, that's a cool thing to do if you want to strengthen those knee joints and you feel like you got the balance just without throwing it like that. But what we're really going to do right now is some kettlebell sumo deadlift high pulls. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of the kettlebell sumo deadlift high pull for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then that sumo deadlift high pull is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the sumo deadlift high pull together. So that object is going to start on the ground in between the feet, and we're going to use the legs and the hips to drive that up. So we want to remember legs before arms. We are driving up with the power of the hips and legs. And after we reach a standing position, that's when we finish with the arms, with the elbows high and outside at the top. So legs first, make it pop, get those elbows going high and outside. And so good job here on these sumo deadlift high pulls. And finally, here in the activation phase, we're going to do some Russian swings. And let's go ahead and have Bird Dog demonstrate 3 reps of the Russian swing for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then those Russian swings are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the Russian swing together. So a couple things to keep in mind. This is still a hip and a leg-based thing. We're not pulling this up with the arms. And so to initiate, we are getting that kettlebell back between the legs, and then we are glute bridging that up to the face, keeping it close to the body. Notice the T-Rex arms that we've got twin one going on here. So squeezing those glutes, getting it up to face level. And so good job here on these Russian swings. Well, that is it for the activation phase. Now we're going to move on to the movement prep, which is where we're going to practice specifically the 3 moves that we are doing in today's workout. The first move is going to be V-ups. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 V-ups for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then we're going to have those legs together. And we're going to reach as far low as we can, touching those toes if possible, and then all the way back up overhead at the top. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 10 reps of V-ups together. Now, it could be that doing this with both legs is very challenging or even a bit painful on the lower back, in which case we may choose to do the single leg variation like we see Bird Dog doing here. We're going to take a deep breath in, forward one toe with both hands, and we are alternating legs. Or it could be that, hey, you know what? The V-up altogether is a very hard move for me, and I just need to do those single leg raises. Let's have Bird Dog remind us what those single leg raises look like. So we're pointing those toes, and then all the way back down. But if we are doing the V-up as prescribed, we've got those arms behind us, legs out in front of us, taking a deep breath in, reaching toward the toes at the top, bracing that core and reaching each rep. And if we're not quite reaching at least the ankles on the double leg V-up, then for sure, let's modify to that single leg option. So good job here on these V-ups. or whatever option is better for us in this. The second move that we're doing today is push-ups. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 push-ups for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then those push-ups are going to look like this. Or if we want more of a challenge, we could grab that kettlebell and push forward like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 10 push-ups together. Now, it could be that getting that chest all the way to the ground is a bit of a challenge for us, in which case we may choose to do these push-ups off of an incline surface. Just like we see Bubbles doing here, we're getting all the way down, getting that chest to the surface, pushing all the way back up to full lockout. And just like we see Bird Dog doing as well, getting the full range of motion and keeping those arms tucked in close to the body with those elbows pointing back. But if we're doing this off the ground, then a couple things to keep in mind. We're keeping a nice tight plank position. We are not snaking or worming. And it could be that, hey, getting all the way down is very tiring for me. In which case, once we get into the workout, it could be that we decide to break these up into shorter sets of maybe 2, 3 at a time. And that little rest will be what we need to help us to get through all of the reps in the set without having to switch to the incline push-ups. But if we have to switch to those incline push-ups at some point because it's just not working anymore, that's perfectly fine as well. So good job here on these push-ups. The third move that we are doing in today's workout is kettlebell swings, as in the full kettlebell swing overhead. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 3 reps of the full kettlebell swing for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then that kettlebell swing is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 10 kettlebell swings together. So notice a couple key things. The kettlebell swing is much more efficient when we keep it close to the body. It may be different than what we've done in the past, or maybe even what we've been shown, but we want to keep that kettlebell close to the body, just like we were doing on the Russian swing. So we're throwing that kettlebell back between, squeezing the glutes, popping it up with the power of the hips, and then the arms are just punching it back into place overhead. And keeping it close is the much more efficient way to move that kettlebell, both on the way up and on the way back down. Now, if we need to use that Russian swing today, which is up to face level, that's completely fine as well. Let's remember that it's still a hip and a leg based thing. So we're throwing that object back using the power and the hips to get that up to face level. So good job here on these swings, no matter which version is better for us today. Well, now it's ramp up time. If you've been earning badges and you like to add some weight to do either the scaled, intermediate, or RX weight for today's workout on those kettlebell swings, then let's start to gradually add some weight, doing about 5 to 10 practice swings at a time, adding a little bit of weight each time until we get to the weight that we want to use for today's workout. But if we have not been earning badges, or we're just getting back into this after a long time off, then please, let's not add any weight. That super light weight that we were just using in the warm-up is going to be more than enough for us today. Seriously. It's very important that we have the right form and consistency with all our habits, as evidenced by earning that badge, before we've earned the right to add or reintroduce intensity, such as by adding weight or going fast. And whether we're adding weight or not, let's pay close attention to the following checklist. Number 1, please make sure your device is fully charged or plugged in, so we can get through this whole workout without losing you. Number 2, let's grab some water. Let's take a sip. And let's make sure we got our water nearby so we can take a sip as needed all throughout the workout. Number 3, I'm going to give everyone a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. And that's how you can synchronize your timer with mine if you choose to use one. Number 4, music. Super important. We're going to need a couple fight songs that are going to keep us focused and hopefully unbroken on all these kettlebell swings all throughout the workout. So, what's on your playlist? You can blast your music as loud as you want, as long as you can still hear me helping you throughout the workout. And lastly, how are we keeping track of these rounds? This is a 5-round workout, but the reps are starting high, then they're going low. It's going to be easy to lose track of where we are, what we're doing, how much of it. So let's have some type of system in place that helps us to keep track of where we are without getting lost. Having the workout written down close by. So if you're a teacher's pet like Deb winning the award today, and we've got Bird Dog, we've got Bubbles with the green whiteboard award, and then we've got Twin One as well. Let's go ahead and take a teacher's pet picture just to show how prepared you are. So teacher's pet picture in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to bring the workout back on screen one more time, and then we'll get going. So in just about a minute, we're going to start this timer. And we're about to do this 5-round descending ladder workout of V-ups, push-ups, kettlebell swings. Specifically, we're going to do 20 V-ups, followed by 20 push-ups and 20 kettlebell swings. Then we're going to do 16 V-ups, 16 push-ups, 16 kettlebell swings, 12, 12, and 12, 8, 8, and 8, 4, 4, and 4. And let's remember our options on all these movements. On the V-ups, we have the double leg version. But if we need to do the single leg V-up, that's fine. If we need to do single leg raises, that's also fine. On those push-ups, it could be that we need to do these push-ups off of an inclined surface. Maybe we can challenge ourselves to go a little bit lower than normal if we've been doing incline push-ups for a while. But other than that, let's use the height that allows us to get through at least 3 to 5 push-ups at a time without stopping. On these kettlebell swings, we're looking for a weight that we can stay mostly unbroken. You know, maybe we break up that round of 20 a little bit, but what's a weight that we can hit at least the round of 16, 12, 8, and 4 without stopping, like all 16 swings in a row? Let's warm up to that weight if we've been earning badges. If we've not been earning badges, we are keeping it super light like we talked about. So your score is going to be the time it takes you to get through these 5 rounds of descending reps of V-ups, push-ups, and kettlebell swings. Remembering that also, yes, we do have the option to do that Russian swing up to face level if that's better for us in our shoulder position. If you are good to go, give me a thumbs up here and we'll get this going. I'm going to give us a 10-second countdown, and then I'm going to highlight 2 and 1 to get us going. So here we go, guys. 20 V-ups, 20 push-ups, 20 kettlebell swings, and then it's all downhill from there. Starting in 10 seconds. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go, and we are off on these 20 V-ups. Deep breath in, reaching for those toes. Or maybe we're doing the single leg version, reaching for one toe at a time, alternating legs. Or maybe we've got these single leg races going on. We've got lots of options to stay in the game. And let's remember, we all feel different any given day. It could be that, hey, today this is what I need to do. But as long as we are staying consistent, that's what matters. Let's not compare one day to the previous day. Let's just be happy we're here doing what we can in the moment. But reach toward those toes. Let's have a nice full range of motion there. And now we are doing these push-ups. Deep breath in, keeping that plank nice and tight. Now it could be that we have a push-up threshold and we need to break these up into short, quick sets, maybe 2, 3 at a time with some quick rest. And that's what's going to help us to keep these as low as we can all throughout. And let's remember, we're not snaking or warming this up. So we're getting down, taking a deep breath in, moving that torso as a unit. And like bird dog, hey, maybe we start off on the ground and then we switch to the incline. But let's do this here. These 20 push-ups all the way down, all the way up. And notice if we're doing the push-ups off the wall like we see Deb doing here, notice that veteran tactic. She's changing face direction, looking left, then looking right. Twin one, keeping all these push-ups off the ground, but just breaking these up in sets of 3, 5 at a time. And then after 20 swings, after 20 push-ups, moving on to these 20 swings, and we got Deb on these Russian swings here. And so throwing it back, squeezing those glutes, getting that up to face level. And there goes twin one, done with those push-ups, and now moving on to these swings. Notice how she has a nice little lead-up swing before going for the full one, especially important if we're using a heavy kettlebell. So we get a little kicker to get it going, but then we throw it back and then go all the way. She's keeping it close. Popping that up with the hips, punching it back. And there goes bird dog. She knows what I was about to say. She's bringing those feet closer together. And that's the power of coaching. You can hear the voice in the head even before. But yeah, that correction bird dog made was because we only want the feet just wide enough to get the kettlebell. We don't wide. We want them as narrow as they can be, while still allowing you to get that kettlebell all the way back. That's going to give you more power in the swing, especially on the way up. So getting that back, popping that up, punching it back. And then after that set of 20, boom, we are onto this set of 16 here. Deep breath in, reaching toward those toes. Whether we're doing the double leg or the single leg, deep breath in, bracing that core. Nice work here, guys. Let's go, let's go. All the way up. And everyone here is on track to finish within today's target window. The target window is the best way to make sure that we are using the right weights and picking the right movement options that challenge us enough and help us to hit the mark of how the workout is supposed to be. So bird dog starting off this set with a couple push-ups off the ground. Let's get that full range of motion though. Chest. And then, yep, bird dogs, that's where I switch. But I like how she is starting off each set with a couple off the ground. Twin one, sticking with these push-ups off the ground, but taking a couple strategic breaks. Bubbles as well on these push-ups here, all the way down, locking that out. And Deb, deep into these swings here in this round of 16. So Deb is sneaking away with the win here. At least at this point. Let's remember to stay consistent, keep breathing deep. And then after we finish this round of 16, that's going to be moving on to the round of 12. But a number of us here still on the push-ups in this round of 16. Deep breath in, bracing that core. We are not snaking or worming. Bird dog onto these 16 swings. Keeping it close. Popping that up. And you can let it go out just a little more on the way down there, bird dog. And so, yes, you're doing a good job keeping it close on the way up. On the way back, we can let it go just another inch or two forward. That'll give you some more momentum to get it back. Set you up for the next swing. There you go. But nice work here. Popping that with the hips. Punching that back with the arms. Great work here, guys. Using the power of the hips and the legs. Then, as we get into this round of 12 here, this is where things are going to start to speed up. These rounds are going to go by faster. And that's the point of these descending ladder workouts. You know, we do lots of different types of workouts in this program. Sometimes it's 5 rounds with the same rep scheme, or maybe even 3 or 4 or whatever, however many rounds with the same rep scheme. Sometimes it's what we call a time priority workout, or an AMRAP, where we just see how many rounds we can get done in a given amount of time. In these descending ladder workouts, we are prioritizing intensity. You know, as the rounds go on, you know, we get some fatigue, which is natural, but hey, the reps are lower, which means we can just push. You don't need to wait. You can do 12 pretty fast. After 12, you need to hit 8 pretty fast. And so we are learning to just push that pedal to the metal. So let's keep pushing here, keeping that core nice and tight on these push-ups. All the way down, full range of motion, chest touching, elbows locking out at the top. And let's do this, let's do this. All the way down, all the way up. We got bird dog on these swings. Round of 12. Deb already deep into the round of 8, choosing to do some straight leg sit-ups as we get into these lower rep schemes here. So doing a little bit more challenging of a movement. Great job there, 21. Throwing it back, popping it up, punching it back. Let's go, let's go. And bird dog now choosing to do the double leg V-up as we get into these lower rep rounds. That's what I want to see too. That's another advantage of these descending ladder workouts. As we get toward the end, into the lower rep rounds, we take some chances. Hey, let me try a challenging movement option here. And we're keeping those legs straight, pointing those toes, reaching toward the toes. twin one as well. Diving into this round of 8. Deb sneaking toward the finish line here. And so Deb almost across. So let's breathe, let's push. Fighting our way toward the finish line. We know what to do. We hit that buzzer, we yell time, we cheer on our family. So let's do this thing here. Deep breath in. Staying unbroken. Doing what we gotta do. Let's breathe, let's push, let's go. Twin one, finishing off this round here. Deb on this last round of 4. We are doing this thing here, guys. Let's push, let's go. And here goes Deb on this last set of swings. And Deb across the finish line. Bird dog almost there. Twin one almost there. Let's breathe, let's push, let's go. And there goes twin one. Let's go, bird dog. And here comes Bubbles. Let's hear it for Bubbles, guys. And there goes Bubbles. Well, I'll tell you what. That was crazy. As always, super exciting to see that finish. But now we're at the best part of the workout, which is the cool down stretch. And this stretch is super important to help us fight soreness, increase flexibility, so we can come back day after day, staying consistent and committed. So the first stretch we're going to do today, the seated forward fold. And so this is going to be where we've got those legs out in front of us and we are reaching toward those toes or as close as we can to it, like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear some high-low buffaloes. And let's hear first from twin one. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then we're hanging down like this, getting as close as we can, flat palm hand to the ground like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, twin one?
So my high were the swings, the low were the push-ups, and the buffalo was, whew, how spicy that was. Simple, but very, very spicy.
Just the way we love it in this food. But yes, you had a good strategy on those push-ups that'll keep going and stay with the prescribed version on the ground. So good job there, twin one. Let's go ahead and straddle this out here. Legs out to the side, reaching forward like this. And while we're over here, let's hear from Deb. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then we're now gonna similarly get those legs to the side and reach even further to the ground. But what is your high-low buffalo, Deb?
Well, my high were, I don't know. Oh, I do know. I'm sorry. My high were the V-ups because I did the modify, but you still felt the stretch in my lower back and that posterior. So don't sleep on the home options, guys. And then my low were the push-ups because I'm always striving to get down to the ground. So, and then the buffalo. Well, the swings, I love the little pterodactyl movement. And so Yeah, but it was a lot of arm work, so I was not sure I was going to get through it, but I did. So yay, Deb. Thanks, Coach.
Yay, Dev, indeed. And good job for making use of all the scaling options and choosing the options that are good for you today and not, getting too discouraged. Like, hey, we all have different things that we feel throughout the day, but you showed up and you made the right choices through the workout. Let's go ahead and move on to butterflies. So we got the feet in, knees out to the side, and we are flapping those wings, opening up the hips like this. And at the beginning of the episode, we talked about the Habit Master Challenge and how being more aware, logging those points, earning those badges really helps us to stay on track. And we've got Bubbles, who is a habitual habit master and continually logs all of these points, earning these badges. So, how has the Habit Master Challenge helped you to stay on track? And by the way, if we're doing this from the seated position, we are now getting those arms out to the side, pulling back like this.
The Habit Master badges and challenge really helps me to just pay attention every day. So it gives me something to think about every single day about how I can improve my health and fitness. So my goal is to log at least 1x, but always to try to get all 5x's. But at least if I log 1x a day, then it shows that I am consistently thinking about my good habits every day, every week, every month. So it's really helped me because I got a whole lot of X's because I do constantly think about it. So yeah, thanks, Coach, for putting this together for us.
And thank you, Bubbles, for always showing up, doing what you can. It's very easy to fall into the trap of thinking, I can't flexi time, I can't WOD today, then today is a loss. No, we can still drink some water, we can still get that sleep, we can still plan our meals for the next day, and we can show up for ourselves in that way. You do very well. So thank you, Bubbles, for your great example. And let's now move on to saddle. So for the saddle here, it's helpful to start in a kneeling position like this. If we could sit back all the way on those heels, great. If this is all we got, hey, that's cool. And some of you ladies can lean all the way back. It's harder for us guys, but some of you guys are straight up noodles, just like swing one over here, getting all the way back like that. But let's now hear from Bird Dog. And by the way, if we're doing this from the seated position, we're going to get those hands on the shoulder blades and pull back like this. Logging points and earning badges as well. How has this Habit Master Challenge helped you to stay on track?
Well, I agree with Bubbles about it. It helps you think about it daily because I know as soon as I log my X's, I am sure to look where am I at so far this month because I love that you can keep track of yourself for months, weeks and months. So it's a daily thing, but it's also like, what am I doing each month? And so I go back and just compare myself to myself and make myself accountable to beat my score or at least keep up with myself, even if there's things going on. So definitely helps me keep on track that way.
And in this life, there's always some things going on, right, Bird Dog? But as long as we've got it going on, logging these points, showing up for ourselves, then we're doing something positive that helps us to cope and navigate life's stormy waters. Well, that's our WOD, that's our stretch, that's our high-low buffalo. You know what's left. That sweaty selfie. Because does this count if we don't take that selfie? Let's flex on the camera here, guys. And let's take this selfie. Sweaty selfie in 3, 2, 1. And crazy face. And let's put the fist in the middle for the cheer. On 3, 2 claps, fit crew. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, crew.
Crew. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoy this program, then please give this channel a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you very much, and see you next time.